So it's time to make a change. You know, when I set out to do this series, Church for Gamers, I had this idea in my mind on where I wanted it to go and what I wanted to accomplish with it. And I realized quickly after I started it that the audience that I was looking for is not there, and then I'm going to have to go about this a different way. The way I view it right now is what I've been trying to do is have a Bible study for unbelievers, and it doesn't work. People tune in just to argue with me, and then there's hate associated with it because of anonymity that people have on YouTube. So there's a verse that says, don't throw your pearls to dogs. And that's what I feel like I've been doing. I've been trying to impart wisdom from the Bible to people who have no want or know-how to take that wisdom and apply it to their life. So I thought about it and I was like, you know, I am doing this all wrong. See, a Christian is supposed to live out their faith. And in living out their faith, unbelievers recognize that there's something different about that dude. That guy is always positive. That guy is always joyful. Even in the midst of bad things happening, he seems calm. That's usually the definition of a Christian. Contentment, joy. Not necessarily I'm walking around with a big smile on my face. Ha, what's going on, guys? That's not a Christian. No, it's somebody who's content when bad things happen. I know you unbelievers are going to say, oh, I have contentment. Sure you don't. Sure you don't. I mean, the level of depression in our society is on a whole nother level. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go into the book of Daniel, to show that being a believer amongst unbelievers isn't always going to be easy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you a story, a real story, a story from my life, a story with my children. And then we'll leave it at that and we'll see where this goes, all right? A lot of changes coming to the channel, buddies. A lot of changes. So last year around this time, my kids are at school. And it's the final week before school lets out for Christmas vacation, okay? So our kids go to art, and in art, the assignment's very simple. By the way, my kids are in elementary school. My son is 8, my daughter is 10. So this was last year, so we got a 7 and a 9-year-old. And the art teacher, it was a very simple assignment. It was draw what Christmas is to you. Now, we live in a very populated area in North Texas, so our elementary school probably has 500 or 600 kids, maybe even more than that, okay? So all the kids in the school do this assignment, and they're drawing everything from snowman to Santa Claus to presents and bicycles, snow falling down from the skies, pictures of movies that they watch on the holiday season. My boy draws a picture of the nativity scene, and after they're done drawing, they share it with the class. You know, what did you draw, Michael? What did you draw, Shelly? What did you draw, Erica? What did you draw, Billy? And everybody shares what they got. Well, my son stands up and he shares the nativity scene, okay? We had no idea that this had happened. My son doesn't, you know, it's not like we prompt our kids to do these things. I mean, we teach our kids to stand up for what they believe, be secure, and, you know, go forth in the world. You know, you're going to get smacked, you're going to get knocked down for your faith, but you still stand for it. That's the role of any parent. Be proud in what you stand for. So later on that day, my wife gets a special email from the art teacher. And she's like, I just want you to know I gave this assignment. She explained the assignment to every single kid in the school. Every single kid. And your son was the only one to draw the nativity scene. And I cried. I wanted to let you know how special and how sweet that was to me. You have a wonderful son. Have a great holiday. And then the teacher's name. It was a beautiful email. It was a beautiful email. And then my wife, she comes and shows me the email. And we're just like, oh my goodness. She had given us a picture of what he drew. I actually have it with me. I'll put it in the thumbnail. I'll put it on the screen, whatever you guys want. It's just a basic picture of a child's representation of the nativity scene, right? So we're proud mamas and papas right now, right? I mean, we're gushing with pride over what our kid did. Good pride, happy pride, joyful pride, because we slam home every single holiday season that Christmas is not about family, it's not about presents, it's not about food or football or the weather changing or Santa Claus or Rudolph. Christmas is a celebration of Christ's entry into the world, the day of Christ, Christ Mass, okay? That's what Christmas is. This whole presents and all that kind of stuff, that didn't come till about maybe 100 years ago. It's all because they wanted to make money on it, right? So we're gushing about it. So my wife decides to post this on Facebook. Oh no. She entered into the realm of social media. This was our first taste of hate, by the way. And I had already started my YouTube channel. I wanted to do a video on this, but she wasn't comfortable with me bringing it up for fear of retribution for our kid at school. Nobody even knows who we are, you know? So she posts this thing on Facebook and she gets a ton of likes, you know, from her friends, because we have a lot of quote unquote Christian friends, right? And but then we get an email from the school, from the teacher. Did you share the email that I sent you? Did you post a picture of what your son drew? Well, of course we did. We're proud mamas and papas. Turns out that one of the angrier women in the world who deny Christ, which there's tons of them, okay? To each their own, do what you want to do, contacted the school and said that it was inappropriate for our son to be recognized by the teacher and that she needs to take that email back and that should never happen again. There are literally no words. The teacher didn't recognize my son in a public setting. It was a personal setting, a private setting, of which my wife wanted to share with the world how great it is the heart of our son for his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. There was an ongoing series of meetings for 3 to 4 days reconciling the situation, and we know the woman who did it. This bitter woman. Oh my goodness gracious, a bitter woman. And that was probably one of the most eye-opening examples of persecution that as a family we have ever experienced. Now, of course, on a weekly basis on YouTube, I am slammed for my beliefs, and I don't really care. I don't care. I don't. I mean, I'm always going to stand for Christ. I don't think I'm going to be as blunt as I have been before. I'm not afraid to answer a question if there is a question to be asked and answered. I'm cool with that, okay? But trying to come on here and do a Bible study with a bunch of people who don't believe in the Bible, it seems kind of dumb, doesn't it? Like, it's almost like I'm doing a book review, but it's not a book review to me. Maybe it is to you. And a lot of people will sit there with a cold heart looking at what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to get a little bit more creative with it, is what I'm saying. Just a little bit more creative. And we'll see where it takes us, all right? I love this story because it gives me hope that there are children still out there that will stand up for their faith. And I know it's my own boy, but I want you to think about those numbers. 500-600 kids, elementary school. One drew the picture of the nativity scene for Christmas. One. And I live in the Bible Belt, by the way. The Bible Belt. I am the buckle on the Bible Belt. This is where the Christians live, is where I am right now. The further you go away from where I live, the less amount of Christians you will find out there in the world. And one kid drew the nativity scene. Crazy, right? You guys have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all in the next one, all right? Bye.